We are having this budget in the third year of the third 5-year plan. That is to say, this is the 13th budget under planning. But added to this is the emergency today, which naturally has an impact on the economic policies and, in particular, on the budget proposals. It is agreed on all hands that resources should be found for the strengthening of our national defense as well as for the country's economic development. I think, on the whole, it is a right approach in the situation that national defense and economic development should go hand in hand. Indeed, we cannot have a strong self-reliant defense potential in the country either now or in the future or in any future at all without having a strong economic base, especially industrial base. For without a strong industrial base, you cannot have modern defense in the world today. Therefore, on the whole, it is a right approach, and I think we all should stick to this approach instead of trying to counterpoise one against the other. Therefore, on that score, there is not any controversy whatsoever, but there is ground for controversy when you come to the budget proposals. I rise to support the principle of this bill from the bottom of my heart. This bill is the outcome of the Fiscal Commission's report, a very illuminating document. It has dealt not only with subjects relating to industries, major or minor, big or small, but has also dealt with the agricultural industry. Several chapters have been devoted for the purpose of improvement of our agriculture. They have also devoted a greater part of their attention to the development of cottage industry. Although this bill does not envisage any kind of protection regarding the agriculture industry, I do hope the government will take due notice of the recommendations and suggestions made by this commission. Not only has the commission made various suggestions, but our late colleague Mr. Mukhtar Singh, who was an expert in agriculture, has appended a very illuminating note on the development of agriculture in this country. I have had the pleasure of coming into close contact with Mr. Mukhtar Singh in the Oilseeds Committee, and I can say that he had a very wide experience of agriculture. Not only had he experience, but he had original ideas also. Although I was the chairman and he was only a member of this commission, he was a great guide to me. I do expect that the government will consider this report, particularly this aspect of the question regarding our food problem, which is really agitating the country to such an extent. We are lacking immensely as far as agricultural statistics are concerned. In America and Russia, I might say that every inch of land, either cultivated or not cultivated, fallow land or waste land, has a complete record, and they know how agricultural land could be developed or made use of. While we are lacking immensely in this respect, this report furnishes a great deal of information. Therefore, although this does not come within the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, I hope that government will bear this in mind so as to what they intend doing as regards the recommendations of this commission as far as the agricultural aspect is concerned. Because this report has not come before this house for consideration, we are considering only a part of it, namely the big industries or the power and heavy industries. The point which I stated with regard to the cottage industry is an important factor. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, before adjournment, I was dealing with the question of selection and appointment of judges and the part the government was playing in the matter. I pointed out how the government had been discriminatory in such matters. I would beg of you to ask the Honorable Minister not to evade the issue that I have raised, because there is a tendency on the part of the government to evade certain issues involving principles whenever they have no straight answers to give. Even if some answers could be given, they do not feel like giving those answers for reasons best known to them. Now, my allegation here has been this, and to the best of my knowledge, everything is true. Of course, part of it can be corroborated from the Election Commission as to whether a defeated Congress candidate had been appointed as a judge of the High Court of Calcutta, and the other part of it can be ascertained by the government from the persons concerned, that is to say, the former Chief Justice of the Calcutta High Court. Now, the point that I want to make is this. When the Chief Justice had recommended somebody, that recommendation should not have been set aside on the basis of a police report. A CBI inspector certainly is not a higher personality in our setup than the Chief Justice of a High Court. And yet the recommendation was rejected, as everybody knows, on that basis, on the basis of the police report generally drawn up by CBI sub-inspectors of the regime. Now, sir, in the matter of selection of High Court judges, extreme care should be taken so that no extraneous considerations come in. Therefore, sir, I would suggest that in the matter of selection and appointment of judges, the whole thing should be left to the judiciary itself. To the Chief Justice of the High Court, and finally to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. It is possible for the government to delegate these powers to them. Now, you will say that there are certain administrative considerations and other things. They can come into the picture if it is a question of appointment of an officer or a district judge by promotion to the High Court bench, but in other matters, the High Courts generally know what is to be done.